Hi and welcome in this lesson. In the last lesson we have seen the different ways to add a background color. So of course it's not just a background color. There is also a background image. And there is another background properties that will help you to make a perfect background image. Like background repeat, background size, background position, and finally background attachment. And this is the topic of this video. So keep watching and let we get into it. So as we see here in our page, we just have a division, just one division has a class content, and I meant to make it long like this, so here we can scroll down. So let we add this picture for this one for the whole page and this one for the content. So let me select the whole body and start adding the background image. Background, and this time will be image. Then the URL, which is the directory for the image. So because they are in the same folder, so I don't have to type the whole directory. Just we can type the name, which is image underscore one and .jpg. Let me see how it looks like. So here is the image as a background for the whole page. But as you see now, the image is repeated in Y direction because its height not big enough to cover the whole page. Like the width is enough to cover the width of the page. So I don't want to repeat the picture like this. So another property will help us to remove this repeat, which is background, but let me add here semicolon and here background repeat and make it no repeat. So now the picture not repeated, but there is a big area from the page not covered with the picture. So there is another background property will help us to solve this problem, which is background size. We can specify the height and the width for the picture, but I will make it cover the whole page. Let me see. So it's covered now the whole page, but it's over zooming and it's not looks good. So there is another property, which is this time background position. So I want it to be in the center of the page. But still over zooming. And also when we scroll down or scroll up, the background will move. And I don't want this, so let we add a background attachment and make it fixed. So it will be fixed if we scroll down or scroll up. Let me try this. And also the background now looks far better than before. If we scroll down or scroll up, it will be fixed. Nice. So background repeat, it will repeat it in X direction or Y direction, or remove the repeat. So here we don't want to repeat the image in Y direction or X direction, so I select it to be no repeat. We can make it repeat, for example, X. So the picture will repeat it in X direction, and the same thing Y. But I don't want to make it repeated, so I will make it repeat none or no repeat. And then background size, we can specify the width and the height for the picture, but I prefer to make it cover the whole page, and then make it center to be in the center of the page. You can make it right or left. If you have a content in the right or the left and want to make a background image for it, you can specify the position to be right or left. And finally, background attachment fixed to be fixed while we scroll down or scroll up. But when we resize the page, as you see, we can't see the whole background. So it's not responsive for small screen sizes like phone, for example. But for big screen sizes like PC, it will be full size, as you see. But small screen sizes, we can't see the whole image. I will tell you at the end how we can make it responsive. Let me now add a background image for the content. And background image URL, and the name is image underscore 2 dot gif. So as you see now, the background take the whole page or repeated in X direction and also in Y direction. So you know now how we can fix this using background repeat. So it's not repeated and also it's not cover the whole content. So let we specify the size. This time let we make it not cover. Let we specify the width and the height. Because of course I don't want it to cover the whole page. I just want it to be 30% from the whole page and the height to be the whole page, which is 100%. So now because it's small screen, so it's not responsive, but if we make it full screen, it will take the whole height for the content and also the whole width. Just remain to make it fixed. So when we scroll down or scroll up, it will be fixed as you see now. Just the paragraph is moving. Let me change the color for the paragraph and make it sky blue. So the problem now, the background image for the whole page and also for the content is full size for the big screens. But when we resize the page and become small, so it's not responsive at all. The background for the content just cover the half of the content and we can see the whole background image for the whole page. So the question now is how to make it responsive for all screen sizes. I will use a unit called viewport width and viewport height. So one view width or one view height equal to 1% from the whole width or the whole height for the page. So I will specify the width and the height for the background image for the whole page to be 100 view width and 100 view height. I wanted to take the whole screen if the screen is big, and if the screen is small like this, I want also to take the whole screen. So it will follow the screen. If the screen is small, it will take the whole screen. And if the screen is medium, it will take the whole screen. And the same thing if the screen is big. So I will make it 100 view width. This is the width. And for the height, 100 view height. Let we see. So as you see now that the background image resized to follow the screen width. And the same thing if we make it big. And when we resize the page to make it, for example, medium, we can see the background image. if it's big or medium or small. So it's responsive for all screen sizes. And the same thing for the background image for the content. I want the height to take the whole page, so 100 view height, and the width 30% from the page, so view width. So as you see, it's still not responsive, but it's responsive. But still it looks not responsive. But I tell you it's responsive. But how? I see it's not responsive. It's like before. The background image just cover the half of the content. But I insist and tell you it's responsive. Problem now is with the text. The text is not responsive. If we resize the page, make it small or big, the width of the paragraph or the content not change. Still fixed if we resize, make it big or make it small, the same width for the paragraph. So also we have to make the text responsive. So and make the width 30 view width to be like the width for the background image, and then the height, I want the height to be just 8 view height. So let we save and see. So now it's look responsive. So the background image cover the whole content and it will follow the screen size. Nice. And to make it better, we can add another style which is called padding to add a space between the paragraphs and make it 5 pixels. Nice. We can also add another style for the whole page, which is margin, and make it 0. So this style will remove the space here. So now it looks far better than before. If we scroll down or scroll up, just the paragraph is moving, but the background image is fixed. Awesome. So that's everything about background image and the background properties that will help you to make a perfect background image. So let me review it again. So here the background image style will help you to specify the picture, and then background repeat it in X direction, in Y direction, or it's not repeated at all. Background size will help you to specify the size for the background. You can make it cover, so it will cover the whole page, or you can specify the width and the height manually. And we have seen how we can make it responsive using viewport width and viewport height. Then background position, you can make it center, you can make it right, you can make it left if you have content in the right or in the left. And finally background attachment, which is fixed if we scroll down or up. And for the paragraph, we make it responsive by adding a width and height, and finally padding to make spaces between the paragraphs, and make margin 0 so it will remove any space in the page. So as you see now, the whole page covered with the background images without any spaces. And of course I will explain margin, padding, width, height in detail in another videos. So that's the end of this lesson. I hope you enjoyed it and see you next time.